If you plan to run a game that is longer than one session, longer than one adventure, even if it's just a short campaign, it pays to have a session 0. So a meeting of the gaming group just to make characters and prepare for the first actual session. I'm going to explain why and how to get the most out of session 0, but first let me ask you not only to like and subscribe, but also to share this video around. These kind of instructional videos are a lot more work to do than a simple review, but they only get a fraction of the views. Thank you. Let's get started. Why do you need a session 0? There are a lot of things that need to be done before a game can start. The players need to make their characters, and the GM needs to prepare an adventure with tons of locations and NPCs and background. If you try to cram that in just before the beginning of the first adventure, then you inevitably rush it. And even if you do, after that cramming session there isn't a lot of time left in the evening for said adventure, so you'll end up rushing that as well. Better to do all of the preparation before the first actual session, so everything gets the time and attention that it needs. Most of what I'm going to suggest to do in a session 0 can also be done with email and phone calls. Or maybe open a group text chat, maybe a Discord channel, and then communicate everything through those channels. But in my experience, it's better if the whole group sits at the gaming table and does it together. With everyone right there to talk to and show stuff, you just have more opportunity to come up with and discuss ideas. And everyone can help out everyone else. Now, you've gathered everyone around your gaming table with coffee and snacks and all of the books. Now what? First, you've got to know what kind of game you are actually going to play. And in my experience, there are two types of games. In one, the GM knows exactly what kind of game he wants to run. In that case, he should communicate to the players even before session 0 what kind of game he wants to run, so everyone is on the same page. The second type of game is a gaming group just coming together, wanting to play a game, but without a clear vision of what that is going to be yet. Maybe you haven't even settled on a system yet. In that case, you need to figure out what kind of game you actually want to play. So everyone in turn should speak up and tell the others what they are in the mood for to play. Most people will probably be down to play anything, but just to be sure, everyone should also tell you what they don't want to play at all. Some GMs even hand out questionnaires and then compare the results, but I personally just have a friendly discussion and then try to find the common ground. That said, I do have a video and a player questionnaire that you can use to gather information on your players quickly. That might be useful if you are playing with a group of strangers. Keep in mind that you not only have to settle on a system, but also on a setting and a tone. Even in D&D, an adventuring party from Baldur's Gate will be quite different than strangers trapped in Barovia. And a pulpy game of Call of Cthulhu, where the investigators run in guns blazing, throwing around sticks of dynamite, is quite different from a slow, quiet investigation into the fathomless depth of the human psyche. Now that everyone is on the same page on what to play, it's time to make characters. Some players will already know what they want to play, while others will have no idea at all. But don't worry, there are plenty of people around the table to make suggestions. You, as the GM, should make sure at this point that the characters are compatible with each other. Some conflict in the group can be quite interesting, depending on the group of players and the game you're having. But too much conflict that destroys the group is not fun anymore. That does not mean that there's no room for many character concepts within the group. But there must be some compromise and some kind of goal that keeps the group together. For example, you can have a lawful good paladin and a chaotic evil necromancer in the same party, but they both will need a very good reason to work together. So how about they are siblings? And despite all of their differences, they still love each other and try to make it work. That way, one can keep the other in check, and there's a lot of room for fun role-playing opportunities. However, all of this depends on your players, so talk to each other. In my experiences, most problems at the gaming table can be solved with proper communication. As it becomes clear what everyone is playing, it's a good opportunity to come up with a group motivation. Why are these people adventuring together? Maybe they are colleagues from the adventuring guild. Maybe they are friends since childhood. Maybe they are family. Maybe they are all in the same gang. This is also where you should come up with the relationship between the characters. Not everyone needs to know everyone else at the beginning of the game, but everyone should at least know someone who knows the other one. Good place to start is having everyone come up with a relationship to the characters of the player to their right. That way they all know each other in a circle. Or maybe your players want to play out how all of these characters have met for the first time. In that case, you should ask them what their characters' motivations are and why they could possibly team up with the rest of the group. During all this, you should also ask your players certain questions about their character. If they do not know the answers right away, now's the opportunity to come up with them. These questions will help you as a GM to get a handle on the characters, to know what motivates them, and how you can involve them in the adventures to come. Start with two basic but powerful questions. What does your character live for? What would your character die for? These give you an overview of the strongest motivations that character has. The plot hooks he will bite every time. But there are many more questions you could possibly ask. Some GMs even hand out a questionnaire with 20 questions. But I'm too lazy to do that and then analyze all of these answers. So I suggest you stick to maybe 5 questions. What would your character kill for? Does your character have family or friends? What gods does your character believe in and why? Where does the character come from? There is one thing that your character regrets above all else. What is it? You can and should modify this list depending on the type of game you're planning to run. For you as a GM, these questions and the suggestions you make during character creation allow you to influence what kind of group you get to GM for. But also, take note about what your players and their characters are interested in. This is what you have to prepare for and elaborate on. Also, take note about what they are not interested in. You don't need to prepare that. For example, if everyone is gearing up for a court intrigue, then you don't need to prepare a mega dungeon. At the end of session 0, everyone should have a somewhat fleshed out character with background and relationships, and the group as a whole should have a concept about what they want to do. And you as a GM should have a handle on the characters, so you can steer them towards adventure. And when the date of that session comes, you and your group can jump right into the action, and all of the preparation you did in session 0 should bear fruit. So, to summarize, have a session 0 if you plan to run something longer than a one-shot. It makes for a much smoother beginning of your campaign. Create characters and their relationships and backgrounds together. Come up with a group motivation. Ask specific questions so that your players think about their characters and you can get a handle on them. And always take notes. This all also works well with tree world building, which I made a video about last week. Give it a watch if you are prepping up for a game. That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching, and until next time.